Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with me podcast episode and, of course, YouTube video. Today's lesson is not even really a lesson. In fact, we're just going to talk a little bit about other people who are learning Gujarati, tell their stories, and I suppose my hope with today's lesson is to provide you with some inspiration, I suppose. There are two different types of people who learn Gujarati. Type one are people like me, people whose family speaks Gujarati, and therefore they want to learn Gujarati. This type of person typically doesn't know anybody else who wants to learn Gujarati. They're the only person they know that is learning Gujarati. Furthermore, this type of person often is the only person in their generation who really speaks Gujarati or even wants to really speak the language. Often in my family, for example, even in my mom's generation, if we go one generation up, even in that generation, the levels of Gujarati fluctuate quite a bit person to person based on the upbringing that they had. So Gujarati heritage language learners, they don't really know anyone else who's learning the language. It's very almost lonely, not in a bad way, but lonely in the most literal way. You don't know anyone else who's learning the language. The second type of Gujarati learner is people who are learning for social reasons. Now, it could be that your best friend is Gujarati. It could be that you're in a Gujarati community. I've met people like that. It could be that you're marrying into a Gujarati family. It could be your boyfriend or girlfriend. Your partner is Gujarati, right? It's not family related, but it's just interpersonal relationships. And in that situation as well, you are a very rare human. The vast majority of people who know someone who speaks another language, they don't go and learn their language. One of my friends, for example, he used to have a Chinese friend circle. My friend didn't go and learn Chinese or Mandarin. He didn't do that. He just hung out with his Chinese friends and just did that, right? And so the fact that you are learning Gujarati is already very, very, very admirable. For that second type of person, the type of person who is not Gujarati but is learning Gujarati, that type of person also probably doesn't know other Gujarati learners. It is also a lonely experience. Again, not in a bad way, not like, oh, it's lonely. No, in a literal way, like you just don't know anyone else who's doing that, right? And you probably never anticipated that your life would go down that pathway. You never once in your life probably thought to yourself when you were like 15 years old, never thought, one day I'm going to learn Gujarati. In fact, when you're 15, you probably didn't even know the Gujarati language existed. You didn't even know that it was a thing. Probably, right? Um, and so it is, in the most literal sense, a lonely experience, but it's not a bad lonely. It's just literally lonely. You are the only person you know who has taken an interest in this language, most likely, right? And so today, what I've done for you is I've happened kind of by accident, frankly. The YouTube algorithm is pretty interesting how it works. In the episode description box for you, what I've done is I've put some links. I've put 5 different links to videos with people who are learning Gujarati. There's one video of a lady who's marrying into a Gujarati family. You can see it's like a podcast clip, and you can see that the person who's learning Gujarati really is a beginner. Like, she doesn't really know all that much. So she's early in her learning journey. There's another one by a popular YouTuber who likes to go and learn languages and surprise people that he knows their language. So he goes to a Gujarati restaurant and he like talks to the Gujarati owners and like orders food, and it's kind of a interesting video. And he has a lot of videos like that where he talks in all sorts of different languages. He's a very popular YouTuber. There's another one. It's a short of a lady. I don't really know the context of the video. It's like a minute and 23 seconds. She's just like talking to this guy in what looks like a convenient store. And it's kind of funny. What I liked about this video is actually more the comments more than the video itself, because they're complimenting your Gujarati, and they're even saying like, oh my God, I can totally hear where you learned your Gujarati from, what accent you have. Like, oh my goodness, right? There's another one here where it's two like absolute beginners, and their friend is teaching them some basics in Gujarati. And the last one is my favorite one of all. It's actually someone I know personally. I didn't even know this video existed. It just showed up on my YouTube. I was like, oh my God, I know her. Her name is Ina. And Yeah, Ina's in the US, and I met her, oh Lord, something like, I want to say 7 years ago, something like that. And yeah, you can see there's a video of Ina on Goshik's YouTube channel. If you don't know Goshik, he's probably one of the, I think he's the only person aside from me who has made the attempt to like document and show and teach like Gujarati in a somewhat comprehensive way. He's done it in his own lens, and he's done it through his blog, and he's done it through like a very grammatical based lens, and he's done it kind of in his style. And he has his YouTube channel, which I don't think he updates anymore, but he still has the blog, and it's such a lovely resource. And so he on his YouTube channel, there's Ina kind of like talking in Gujarati, and it's so cool. One of the most inspiring stories that I know, it's actually funny as I'm looking at this, right? I'm actually looking at my suggested videos. There's actually a number of videos of people who are like learning Gujarati. There's a guy from France in my suggested videos here who's like talking in Gujarati for some reason. There's a lady who looks like she's learning Gujarati from her dad. Like there's actually quite a few little videos like that, which is kind of cool. So my favorite, most inspiring story of a Gujarati learner is someone I met in 2018. So in 2018, that's when I actually began actively studying the Gujarati language. And somehow, some way, I don't even know how this happened. I don't remember how it happened, but I met someone who was in the US and she was learning Gujarati. Not because her family's Gujarati, but she just had a lot of Gujarati friends and thought, I want to learn this language. It looks really cool because I know a lot of Gujarati people. And it was such an inspiring story because this person, right? She learned to read Gujarati, write Gujarati, speak Gujarati. She was actually relatively fluent in Gujarati. And just for fun, she also learned Hindi. In fact, her Hindi, yeah, they're pretty much the same level. And I was like, wow. So she read Hindi, spoke Hindi, could write Hindi, read Gujarati, wrote Gujarati, spoke Gujarati. And I was like, wow. And it was just a testament of if you just put a little bit of time day in and day out, right? Like doesn't have to be a crazy amount, just whatever works in your schedule and just be a little bit consistent. Like it just shows you how much you can do. So anyway, that's today's lesson, Gujarati's lesson. I know it's not a lesson, but that's today's we'll call it a lesson. That's today's lesson. Go check out those links in the episode description box, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Aujo.